Welcome to the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, the show that puts the spotlight on the incredible women who fuel the world of motorsports. From drivers to crew members, engineers to fans, and everyone in between, we're here to celebrate the trailblazers, dreamers, and doers shaping the sport we love. Each episode, we share inspiring stories of females of all ages from every corner of the motorsports universe, past, present, and future. It's a journey through the seasons of life filled with heartfelt moments, laughter, and a whole lot of horsepower. So whether you're a lifelong fan, a racer yourself, or simply curious about the extraordinary women behind the wheel, settle in, relax, and enjoy a fun and uplifting ride with us. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, connecting and celebrating women in motorsports, one story at a time. Let's hit the track. Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And my guest today is Ashton Elliott. Ashton, I want to welcome you to the show. And first, I'd like you to just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from North Carolina. I'm currently in high school. I'm in 10th grade, a sophomore. I'm just trying to, figure out in classes, automotive, the one class, big class I want to take to get more into drag racing, learning about the car.
Okay.
Um,
Do you have any pets?
yeah, I have a dog and a cat.
Okay. And how about siblings?
I have an older sister and a younger brother.
Okay. So you're the middle child.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're a sophomore in high school. Do you do any other activities in high school?
I do some welding.
Okay. All right. No sports or anything. Racing's your sport.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, tell me, how did you get involved in motorsports?
Back in 2019, my dad and I went to this local drag strip, Wilkesboro, and that's when I first started getting into it. I saw
Okay.
the cars there, and then I was kind of iffy about it at first, and then we went to Charlotte, Z-Max, and that's when it hit the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. It all kind of made sense after that.
Oh yeah, especially when the top fuel cars went down.
Yeah. What did you like about it that day when you were there?
Well, at Z-Max, I liked the intensity of it and the speed, the adrenaline that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rumble inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that was, you said 2019?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you went and watched, you're like, yeah, I love this. What was the next step?
After that, we started going to Z-Max in Bristol, and back in 2022, we went to Bristol and we met up with this pro stock team,
Mm-hmm.
and we started getting along with them. And it's Larry and Renee Granger.
Okay.
They have a pro stock team, and we started becoming really, really good friends with them.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more we talked to them, February of 2023, we went to this car show in Greensboro, and they told me they had a surprise for me. Like, I did not expect what they had for me. I thought it was like a T-shirt or something small,
Yeah.
But as soon as we got there, we saw this really nice, fabulous dragster, and with a for sale sign on it. And Larry Granger came up to us and said, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "I'd love to have it." And so I called Renee and I was like, "I would love to have it," because she wasn't there at the time. And she was like, "Well, it's yours." And she told Larry to take the sign off of it. And April of 2023, we went and back to Greensboro and picked it up, got a trailer for it and everything, and now it's mine.
Wow. What a lucky girl you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That is a very cool story. So April of 2023, what was the first thing you did after you brought the car home? Where did you go? How did you test it? All those things.
I started going to Wilkesboro and started testing it, like learning everything about the car, learning how to launch, how to control it, do burnouts. I started doing 60-foot passes down the track just to like get the experience to actually get the courage to go the full pass.
Uh-huh.
And then, yeah.
Wow. And so that was, it's going to be 2 years ago now soon. So
Mhm.
what have you been doing the past 2 years with it?
The past 2 years, we changed the color. It used to be red, now it's green, purple, and pink.
Okay.
Um, this year we rebuilt the motor, changed a little bit on it. We're currently trying to change it to alcohol. We might add nitrous. Not too sure about that yet, but
Okay.
might maybe.
Okay. So did you start racing then in 2023, or were you still just kind of learning the ropes?
In 2019, I had this Mustang with a V6. I had nitrous on it. It didn't go too fast. It went maybe 70 miles per hour. But something to get like a little practice on. It
Yeah.
was pretty fun.
Yeah. So you knew a little bit about drag racing, but now you've got this dragster.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So tell me about 2023. What were you doing?
2023, just did a couple passes. Just did like test and tunes. Didn't get into anything like serious races.
Okay.
Did a couple test and tunes. 2024. Yeah, I did 2024 is when I got into the big races.
Okay. Tell me about that. Where
We
did you race? How did you do?
Wilkesboro. We did this motorcycle thing that always comes to Wilkesboro. The what? The Harley Shootout. That's what it's
Oh
called.
yeah.
Paul
Yeah.
Watson. He does it.
Yeah.
He invited me there, and that's when I raced Ray Urban with the Green Goblin,
Okay.
and that was probably my first actual like big good race
Yeah.
that I actually raced up against like big competitors
Uh-huh.
instead of just test and tunes.
Right. And so how did you do?
I did pretty good. Just had to tune the car up a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that first real race you were in, what was going through your mind? And what did you feel like? Can you explain it?
The first real race I ran up against, I can't remember his name, but he never loses. So I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
He jumped the light, so I automatically won. So it was kind of good feeling,
Yeah.
but it was nice.
Yeah. So did you race all of last year, 2024?
I tried to,
Yeah.
but at the beginning of 2024, I tore up my transmission.
Okay.
So I had a little bit of complications there.
Yeah. So you had to get that fixed and worked it out. Yeah, for sure. So what is it that you love about racing?
The part that I love about it the most is the friends and the people that you like, the community,
Mm-hmm.
people that you become family with, basically.
Right.
Tracks. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It is. I hear it. I hear it from almost everybody I interview. It's a common thread. It's the people. It's the people, you know? Yeah, for sure. So, what are you going to be doing this year? Are you going to be racing more this year, do you think? Or what's your plan?
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try if I can get more sponsors on my car. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to run down more into like Farmington and maybe Elk Creek in Virginia if I can.
Okay. Okay. So, do a little bit of traveling.
Mhm.
So, what's been your biggest challenge to learn to be a race car driver?
Maybe it's either the people or trying to get everything like together, like the reaction time, I guess. I'm really good at reaction time, but it's just hard to get it consistent.
Right. So there's so many pieces to the racing itself
Mhm.
that one day you might be good at this and the next day you might be good at something else and
Yeah.
not as good at that. So you're trying to put everything together so that you have a really good, complete start and race. Is that, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that, and that's hard. I mean, shoot, that's, you can relate that if you're cooking a big meal for your family. Oh
Yeah.
no, the potatoes are done, but the meat's not, or you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it takes practice and concentration and it takes planning. You know, you have to kind of sit and think about what is it that I need to do and in what order do I need to do it and all those things. And so you'll get there. It takes a seat time, they call it.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah, it sure does. So you're in high school. What do your friends think about you being a race car driver?
I think they think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
Do
they
they
think
ever ask you about it, or have they ever come to watch you race?
the ones that's interested in it, they think it's yeah. They
Yeah,
ask about it.
right. And the rest of them probably don't understand it.
Yeah, no.
No, they think it's NASCAR or whatever. That, you know, because that's on TV so much, and that's the most common question I think other kinds of racers get is, "Oh, is it like NASCAR?" No, it's nothing like NASCAR.
It's
Yeah,
completely different.
you need to watch it for sure. Yeah. So, are you learning how to work on the car, and who helps you with the car?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to work on the car and do things on my own, but I also have my dad trying to teach me to do different things.
Yeah. And is your dad pretty mechanical?
Yeah.
Yeah. And was he ever a race car driver, or he just likes cars?
He used to work on different NASCAR teams, so
Okay.
yeah, that's where I guess he got it from.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. You've got somebody that's got some experience then for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, when you go out to, oh, excuse me, when you go to the track, what does your typical day look like? Like you get up, do you eat? Do you not eat? Do you listen to music? No, I don't. Do you have a routine? Are you
But
superstitious?
we get up, we get everything ready, we go to the trailer, make sure we have everything. We have a checklist, check everything off, double
Okay.
check it, especially if we don't forget anything.
Okay.
We normally get breakfast when we get to the track, because I don't know, when I race, I normally don't eat because I have so much like adrenaline built up. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Um, yeah, just like check over the car, make sure everything's set up,
Yeah.
check over the chips, the oil,
Yeah.
tire pressure.
Right. All the things that matter.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you get ready for your race.
Yeah.
Do you like say do a certain thing before you get in the car? You know, some people like fist bump their dads or say a prayer or whatever.
Yeah,
Is there anything that you always do?
before I get in my car, I do pray by my car normally. Um, yeah. My dad normally taps me on the head before
There
I.
you go. That's what I was looking for. And then what about superstitious? Do you wear the same socks or the same t-shirt, or
I
you are
wear
not
the
you're not
same
uh,
leggings.
the same leggings? Yeah. Okay. That's common. A lot of girls, wear the same, and guys too, I think, wear the same, whatever, so that they're comfortable. Yeah,
It's
for sure.
good luck pants.
There you go. Yeah. So you've been involved in motorsports a couple years, really. Do you think there's anything that you've learned from being involved in motorsports that has helped you or maybe will help you in your life outside of motorsports?
I think I've learned how to be more patient with people and my race car.
Okay. And why is that? Are you normally not patient? You want everything like right now?
Yeah.
That's your age. That's you ask your dad, that's your age. And then, as you get older, you learn that sometimes you got to just slow down and take it slow for sure. So when you go to the racetrack, um, it's predominantly guys at the track, but have you made any friends with any of the women that race, or are there very many women that you race against?
At my track, I've seen one girl there, and
Okay.
I don't know where she races at, so I
Okay.
haven't talked to her.
So you're the lone female.
Yeah.
So how did they accept you when you came and said, I'm going to start racing here? Were they like, oh, that's great? Or,
It was kind of iffy, especially like at the end of last year when I beat that one guy that jumped that red lighted. It was
he
kind of
beat
iffy.
himself, by the way, but yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So he can't be mad at you about that, but
it
yeah,
was kind of iffy, but they accepted me, but some of them were kind of mad,
yeah,
especially that a young girl got this big of a dragster at such a young age.
yeah. Jealous is what they were. They
Hmm.
were jealous. So, do you think motorsports is a good sport for girls to be involved in?
Definitely.
Okay. And why is that?
I think more girls need to get into it first of all, because like there's not enough, like there's not any in there.
Yeah.
Like even NHRA, there's like Erica Enders, the
Yeah.
Salinas, Leah. Well, she doesn't race anymore. There's like Brittany Force. There's barely any.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
the
like
ones that are in it have been in it a long time. You don't see any new faces really.
hmm
Yeah.
and the juniors. There's a lot of girls in juniors I've seen,
Oh yeah, lots of girls and juniors.
so
Yeah.
that's really good.
That's hopefully they're going to move up,
I hope,
and they'll be the big names one day for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, 5 years from now, do you hope that you're still racing and that you've become more successful because now you've had time in the seat?
I really hope so. I really, really, really hope by the time I'm at least like in my mid 20s,
Yeah.
I'm in a top fuel car, at least pro stock,
Yeah. Yeah.
somewhere in the NHRA.
Okay. That's a great goal to have because, you're old enough to understand the everything that it takes to get there. It's hard work on your part, it's keeping the car going, it's financially, all those things. And so you know what it's going to take, then you just have to have a plan to make sure that it happens for
Yeah.
sure. So have you had any little girls or boys yet come up to you at the track and
Yeah. Not at the track, but I had went to this car show. It's in for the fall for this Pistons for a Purpose. They always donate to like cancer or different charities,
uh-huh,
and they always like want to sit in it. And this little girl, she wanted me to start it up, so I revved it for her and everything. She had the biggest smile on her face ever. It was really,
uh-huh,
really sweet.
that's cool. And it's hard to say, that might be all the motivation she needs to someday be a race car driver.
Yeah.
And you may never know that you were the influence, and so that's pretty cool. Did anybody give you any advice when you started? You're like, I want to be a race car driver.
I had advice from a few people that I talked to. Like I asked different pro drivers for advice when I
Yeah.
walked around the pits. They gave me some really good advice, especially
Okay.
Leah Pruitt. I talked to her a little bit.
Okay.
She's one big one that I look up to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, that she was and may still be at some point a great driver, because that baby's pretty new. She may
Yeah.
want to go back to racing at some point for sure. Yeah. So I know it hasn't been real long that you've been racing, but do you have a good memory so far of either something that happened on the track or somebody that came up and talked to you, anything like that?
Anything on the track, the blowing the transmission is the main thing
Oh yeah.
that sticks in my head. Or that big race with Ray Urban. That's my favorite race ever.
Yeah. Yeah, those are good memories and you'll make so many more
Mhm.
as you go along for sure. Yeah. So, social media, I'm sure, at your age, you're on social media. Do you have a social media page for your racing? And if
We have a
so,
Facebook.
how can they follow you?
We have a Facebook. It's Rain Racing.
Okay. You want to spell that for them?
RAYNE
Yeah. It's
Racing.
not rain like from the sky. I wanted to make sure they
No.
knew. It's RAYNE. Yep. Rain Racing. And are you the one that posts things about it or does somebody else do that?
I try to. Me and my dad both do.
Okay. All right. And then, do you do Instagram or anything else?
I know, just
Okay.
Facebook mainly.
All right. All right. So Facebook's the place to follow. So when you post things, if you tag Women's Motorsports Network, it'll be easier for me to follow you because it'll
Okay.
come up in my feed. So make sure you tag me in
Okay.
there. How do you think social media? I know you're, like I said, I know you're still kind of in the starting out stage, couple 3 years. How has social media, like, do more people know what you're doing? Did it help you get any sponsors? Or is it more you're just letting people know, where you're going to be and how it turns out?
But all the above that you just said, it helps you it helps them know where you're going to be during the
Yeah.
weekend at the races.
Okay.
Helps your name get out there more.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. I know, TikTok's a big one now, but we're all waiting to see what happens with that before we get too involved with it. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what happens on a day that, like the day you blew the transmission, something bad happens? How do you deal with that at the track?
Everybody around my trailer, when they saw me struggling to come up the hill at Wilkesboro, they came around us and tried to help push the car up because I couldn't move to go into first gear.
Yeah.
So we pushed the car up on the trailer up the hill. It was spectacular to see everybody helping.
Helping. Yeah. Yeah. But like but like when things don't go as well, are you somebody that, like, how do you deal with it? Do you go to your trailer? Do you cry? Do you throw things? What happens when you're having a bad day?
I was kind of upset. Not gonna I was kind of upset. It was the first race of the season. I
Yeah.
worked trying to make it look good, so I was kind of upset. But I
Yeah.
mean, it happened, so
Yeah.
I got
There's,
over it
you,
quickly.
you have to, don't you?
Yeah,
You have to get over it quickly. Otherwise, you might as well just go home. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. So, you go to school and you do racing. How do and then we have to take care of ourselves. We have to eat and sleep and do all those things. How do you balance all that? Are you pretty good about being organized and making sure you can get everything done like you should?
hmm I basically on the weekends. That's when I work on the car, so I don't have to worry about schoolwork. Do my
Okay,
schoolwork during after school.
good. Yeah, so you've got that figured out. You kind of have a schedule.
hmm
Yeah, that's good. Well, Ashton, what else would you like to share, either about racing and why you love it and why you're doing it, or maybe even about yourself? What else should I know about you, or would you like to share?
I just hope that this makes more girls actually want to go out and start racing
Yeah.
because there needs to be more girls in the sport. It's
Well,
amazing.
and they always say, if you can see her, you can be her.
hmm
So by seeing you a lot of little girls start out when they're 5 years old. You
Yeah,
started out when you were, how old were you? 3 years,
I was
like
13, 12.
13 years old. And so there's no reason why you can't start at 13.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're like, oh, I'm too old to start. Oh, heck no. 13 is not too old to start,
hmm
you know? And so I think little girls need to hear that too. That, if you see something that you want to do, and it doesn't even have to be racing, it could be softball, it could be anything. Um, don't give up your dreams. Go
Yeah.
for it. Work hard and go for it. Yeah. Would you have any advice for any little girls that are interested in getting into racing?
Don't listen to what other people say, especially the guys. This is a woman's sport, not just men's.
Yeah. Yeah. Good advice. Good advice for sure. Yeah. Anything else, Ashton, that we can share before we hang up?
I think that's it.
Well, I appreciate you taking time today to talk with me and share your story. I love telling stories. Every story matters, every story is important, and yours is as well. And I wish you all the best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Um, Keep all those parts working and go down that track. I just talked to a girl earlier today that her goal for this year is to hit 200 miles an hour. And she's hit 198, but her goal is this year 200 or more. So see, there's always a goal wherever you are in your I don't want to say plan, in your story, you know, there's always a goal, and you can reach for it. So yeah. Well, I appreciate you being on, Ashton. Any last words? Anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank my dad, first of all, getting me into it, my family.
Yeah.
I want to thank Renee and Larry Granger.
Yeah, for sure.
In the car.
Yeah.
I think that's
okay. Well, I tell you what, you make sure you tag me,
okay.
and so I can follow you. And if I can ever do anything or promote what you're doing, you just have to let me know.
I will.
All right. You hang on just for a second. That's it for this episode of the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the stories I shared today and feel more connected to the amazing community of women in motorsports. Remember, whether you're behind the wheel, in the pits, or cheering from the stands, your story matters. And together, we're driving change and celebrating every milestone. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who loves motorsports as much as you do. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more incredible stories. So until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep racing through life. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, where every woman's story is worth celebrating.